Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be putting down the EPDM Rubber Roof. If you watched yesterday's video, I got the reinforced strip in. It's a thicker rubber and it's got, it kind of looks like a tire. It's got fabric weaved into it. That is to stop uplift. Technical stuff. When wind blows over the top of a surface like that, it causes uplift. That's how a wing works. And this stops it from loosening up around the edges when that happens. So that's all in. I got my rubber ready to go. Well, I don't have my rubber ready to go. That's what I got to do first. This is a 10 by 50 foot roll. So that's going to be 10 here and 10 there, which should get it up and over the parapet. But the 50 foot needs to be cut in half. The roof here is 20 feet. So that'll give me the stuff I need to go up the parapet on both ends. But that means I have to cut this thing in half. So I really don't have an easy way to do that. So what I'm going to do is roll this out, get it nice and straight and everything, and then measure, 10 or 15 feet, whatever I can get. Measure it on both ends so I can just connect the lines later. Well, actually, the first tick marks will be used to make the second tick marks. So if I measure out 15 feet, then I'll have to pull it this way and roll it out again and measure another 10 feet. Then I'll make the 2 tick marks off of the first tick marks at the 50-foot line and then snap a line across it and cut it. Then I got to finagle one of the pieces, kind of roll it up and put it over there. And then the other one, according to instructions, gets laid out and it needs to relax for 20 minutes. I don't know why. If anything needs relaxing, it's me, but I'll do it. Oh, and before I do that, I need to snap my center line. The center actually comes, I believe it is, it's to this side of that line. Because of the parapet, the center isn't right on that seam, and I don't want my seam right on that anyways. I want my seam about 4 inches above it. That way, I don't think it really makes a difference, but I don't want the seam right above that seam. So, without any further ado, I'm going to start measuring and cut this big old roll. Oh, I forgot to mention, this thing weighs 200 pounds, so even the 2 halves, once it's cut, is going to be difficult to maneuver around. And I got to be really careful that I don't tear it. Once I start walking on it and stuff, I'm just going to take my shoes off. All it takes is a stone stuck in your shoe, a pointy stone, and we live on a gravel road and have gravel driveways, so that's a real possibility. So I'll just take the damn shoes off. So I'm really, really nervous about this, but let's get to it. got it rolled out. Holy moly, it's kind of difficult. So now what I have to do now is the maximum I'm going up the wall is 8 inches, and this is 6 inches, so it gives me 14 inches. So I'm going to measure out from the wall 16 inches, cut it off here, and do the same thing. It's exactly the same on that side. It's kind of a waste. If I could pull this until there was 16 inches unrolled, it'd save material, but it's not that easy to do. So I'll waste a little bit of material on this end and save myself a ton of work. So I'm going to cut these two, and then it has to relax for 20 minutes. Hopefully the wind won't take it away. I've seen it moving a little bit. I'm going to go down and stir the latex adhesive while this relaxes. Then I can start putting it down. Okay, problems already. I measured these end pieces. We'll show you here. I wanted 16 inches. You can see the 16 inches there. But this is not 16 inches. This is only 10 inches. I needed 16 inches of overlap. I needed 16 inches from here. So now what I have is only going to go up the wall 4 inches. I can fix that, but holy shit. Problems already. At least this, which is going to have the scupper holes, that would have been a disaster if this only came up 4 inches. This will come all the way up to the top and have a termination bar. So what I got to do on this is go up the 4 inches and then treat it just like a seam, 4-inch overlap. So I'll put a full piece going the rest of the way up and then all the way down to the bottom. The seams overlap 4 inches, so that's exactly what I'll do on both sides. Damn it. You know, more time, more messing around, and more places to leak. But I doubt that that would ever leak. You know, it's going to have a 4-inch overlap, and it's on a vertical surface, and it'll have a termination bar at the top. Oh, unbelievable. I don't know why the hell I did that. Yeah, it's 16 inches, all right. But doesn't allow for that. Yeah, you can see this piece, 16 inches, so it's 6 inches, and then this is 8 inches, so I only need 14, really. All right. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, this needs to relax for 20 minutes, so I'm going to go stir the adhesive, and I'll be back when it's time to roll this out. So what I need to do is just fold this over to the middle, and then glue one side down, and then broom it out with this, lightly broom it out. Come back I believe it's 20 minutes later. I have some instructions printed out down there. Come back like 20 minutes later and then broom it harder. Then I got to do the same thing to this side. Then I have to use a different kind of adhesive, a contact adhesive, and do one of these sides at it. Well, I guess I could do both ends at it. Well, no, I really can't. These corners here, the instructions for that is just, you know, a weird, you know, you get it into where the rubber is up against there, and it leaves like a flap, and then you're supposed to stick the flap together and then glue that over to the side. I've seen it done, but oh, I don't know. Hopefully this isn't a total disaster, but I better get moving. I need this damn thing stuck down before it blows away on me. Put this on here to weight it down a little bit. It wants to lift up from these scupper holes are letting air in. Oh, jeez. Okay, I will be back in 20 minutes to start gluing this thing down. Okay, the relaxation time is up. So now I'm supposed to roll this back halfway, which is right where that scupper is. Then on the installation video, he just pours it from the bucket onto the substrate and then rolls it out. But this is a 3.5 gallon bucket, so it can get real messy if I do that. And it's going to get all over the sides, and I don't know. But I brought this up. I'm going to either pour it and then set it back on this and I can slide this out of the way, or just use this foam and pour it right here where it's not going to get all over the place. Yeah, I really don't know the exact way I'm going to do it. It's going to get easier as this bucket gets a little less full. It's full right up to the top right now. So each gallon does 3 panels, and I have 2.5 panels per quarter, but I think I'm a little more than a quarter here. So I'm thinking it's going to take about a gallon, but I don't know. I just wonder if I should measure it out or just roll it on, because in the instruction video he was definitely not measuring anything. So I think I'll start by putting it in the pan, filling up the pan, and then see how it works out and possibly adjust from there. So I got to get this stuff off of here, roll this back, and get going. Okay, I got half of it down. The next thing to do is to bond that south wall, the south parapet wall, bond that rubber up to that wall and onto the reinforcing strip. And that is done with their multi-purpose adhesive. I might have said the same adhesive in contact adhesive fashion, but that's not the way to do it. I think you do that if you're just transitioning, but this involves corners and stuff. At any rate, the next adhesive is the multi-purpose adhesive, and it has to be applied to both surfaces. So I got to peel back the rubber until it's sitting like this off of the strip, and I have to coat the rubber, the roof rubber, the reinforcing rubber, and the parapet wall, in this case that parapet wall, all the way to the top. And then you wait for it to get not so that it doesn't pull strings up. I've done a lot of contact adhesive stuff, so I generally wait till it's like a clear color, and then you just test it, and usually it's about right. So what they're saying to do is to, once I do that, start in the middle and work towards the corners, and then just leave the excess at the corner, because this will create a pocket at the corner, having it overlap both walls. Then with that chunk of it, and don't go all the way into the corner, then do the same thing on one of the walls, the multi-purpose adhesive on both surfaces, wait for it to be ready to apply, and then bring that rubber up as well, and that will leave a pocket in the corner. Then you're supposed to get inside that pocket and apply multi-purpose adhesive to the whole inside of it and to the outside. And I believe you have to use primer on the outside. I'll read it again. And then you close up that pocket, you'll have like a triangular flap, and then glue it to one of the walls. And in my case, it kind of makes sense to glue it to the walls that I screwed up. My rubber is only going to come halfway up the wall, so when I put that other half on, it'll cover up that pocket completely, because the next step after gluing that pocket to the side is to put a big patch over it. So that's my thinking right now. You have dry time between everything, so I'll have a bit of time to hurry up and read up on it and see what the best way to do it is. But I think that's it. They also show another way to do corners where you have it flap. One side is just cut straight at the corner, it goes up and dies at the corner, and then the other side goes to the corner and goes past it by 3 inches, and then you put a corner patch in, and then the corner patch has to be folded like I just mentioned as well. And the corner patch is smaller, so that little fold on a corner, well, I don't know, it's not called a corner patch, but a corner whatever, reinforcer or whatever it's called, that thing has to be folded like that and pressed up against and glued to itself in the same fashion. And because of the size of that, it will end up with a flap just like I'm going to have by having that rubber too short. So I think I'm going to try just doing it the way it is. So the next thing I got to do is put multi-purpose adhesive on both of these surfaces. I'm going to give this a bit more time to dry. They say to limit the foot traffic on it until it's fully dry, but they don't really say how long it takes to fully dry. That side has been, drying for an hour or so, hour and a half. This side for a little over a half hour. So what I'm going to do is give it a half hour, and then I'm going to come out here. I'm going to go study my manuals and stuff and stir up my multi-purpose adhesive, and then come back out here and apply it to that long wall there. Okay, I'm back. I let this dry for about a half hour, so now that has a couple hours of drying on it. This has at least an hour. So now I need to peel this back till it's right there, and I have two different sets of instructions depending on whether you watch the video or if you read the printed instructions. One says to mark the 6 inches on here and apply multi-purpose adhesive to here and here, and then roll this up, fluff it, and then roll this up and stop right at the base of the wall. Then come back and use the latex adhesive, put it on the wall and on here, and use it as a contact adhesive, let it dry, then work it from the center up and press it to the wall, just like a contact adhesive. One says to do that, one says to just use a multi-purpose adhesive on the whole thing, because you can use multi-purpose adhesive on anything according to the instructions. Then on the video they show them just putting the multi-purpose adhesive on the 6 inches here and then right on this. And I think in printed instructions it says that, or maybe it's on one of the containers, it says that anytime there's I believe it's a rubber to rubber, but maybe they're talking about just this rubber. It says whenever you connect it rubber to rubber that it should have seam primer, I think. But I'm just going to do the way they do it in the video. I'm going to do the 6 inches here, 6 inches here, then roll it up and stop, and then do it again going up. And the reason for that is if you're doing this and it accidentally sticks way the hell up here while you're rolling this bottom part on, you can't get that off with contact adhesive. So I would rather do it in 2 steps and 2 different adhesives than run the risk of screwing it up. I've already screwed it up once. I don't want to do it again. So what I got to do is just peel this back and take my crayon and mark 12 inches from the wall. Yes, I double checked. 12 inches from the wall, that'll give me my 6 inches. Get this all nice and even, mark the 12 inches, and then go along and apply the multi-purpose adhesive. Let it dry. It's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes. Then press that into place, then come back, do the other adhesive, 25 to 30 minutes, press that in place, then I can do both side walls, and then again wait 25 to 30 minutes. And that's going to take me right to the end of the day. And then what I'll do is I'm going to try to roll this out and get it cut to width. You need to overlap 4 inches, so I'm going to triple measure so I don't screw this up again. I need 4 inches onto here, over to the parapet, and then up to the top, and plus a little bit to hang over. Okay, I got to get moving. I'll get this nice and even. Mark with, this is what I'm using, white tire crayon, Steel Man. Mark my 6 inches and get my adhesive on there. Okay, that seam's done. Next I'll apply latex adhesive to both the rubber and the wall. But before that, I'm going to do these two sides, and these get this same contact adhesive, the multi-purpose adhesive. It is getting so windy up here. I may have to go get some weights. Hopefully things will stay put, but if this rolls up all on its own, that could be a disaster. Unless it does it perfect, then it's a little helping hand. Okay, multi-purpose adhesive on the reinforcing strip, 6 inches onto the rubber here and there, and then last time I waited 25 minutes, it was probably done in 20, so I'm going to give it 20 this time, and by the time I'm done with this, I'll start counting, and then well, actually I'll do that one first because it's in the sun. No, I'll do this one first because it's whatever. I'm going to do one of them, then start counting the time, and then start doing the other, and then maybe 10 minutes or so before I come back and glue it down. So here we go. Okay, the sides have the multi-purpose adhesive on, gluing them to the perimeter reinforcing strip. So it's glued down to the reinforcing strip all the way around. Now, the instructions, they call this side A and that side B, but I have two B's that I'm going to do at the same time, I believe. I'm not sure how things unfold, so maybe I'll have to do them one at a time. That would suck, but it is what it is. What I got to do is brush on this latex bonding adhesive to this here and the parapet wall, and then let that get clear, and then bond this. I'm not going to put adhesive all the way into the corner. That gets done after you make this pocket of rubber. Then you got to get in behind it and put adhesive pretty much everywhere. Stick this thing to that thing to the other thing. And then in the end, it's like a wedge glued up against the side wall. And like I said before, I'm going to try covering that whole thing with another strip when I fix my mistake cutting this these sides too short. But let me get at it. It's going to get dark pretty soon. I have to run and get another brush. Oh, actually, I'll just use the roller here. But I do have to run and get the adhesive. So let me get that. And yeah, I am so worried about this. Both sides flipped up a little bit from the wind, so they started to adhere a little bit towards the parapet wall from center. Same on both sides, but it didn't cause any damage. I don't want this damn thing flipping up and onto there until I'm ready for it. I'm going to put weights right at the very edge. I should have 2 inches extra on the one I did right. So hopefully I can pin it down so it doesn't do that stuff. I have, several gallons that I can put on it. Hopefully I can get to this before it gets too windy tomorrow. And the only seam that'll be into the wind is the big seam here. And I'll be doing that first thing in the morning, hopefully. All right, let me get this going here. Okay, I have the contact cement on the wall and on the rubber here and there, and I'm just waiting for it to dry. It's just about dry, just a couple minutes. I don't really have time to film too much anymore because it is 5:30 and it'll be dark in less than an hour, I believe. But I really have to use whatever time I have left. I have to cut this one to width 87 inches. let me double check that. Somebody fucked up this one. It's not long enough. 87 inches wide. So I'm just going to turn it, straighten it out, measure in 87 every once in a while, yank some, cut for a while, roll it back up until I have a 87-inch strip that's 25 feet wide, and then I'll set it over here somewhere and do some cleaning up, get whatever I can ready for tomorrow. I don't think I can do much, but it's looking pretty good. I still don't know about these corners, but I'm less worried about them than I was before. They look like they'll fold in just fine. You don't put any adhesive up into the corner. That's all. You peel it back a little bit, put all the contact cement in there, and then fold it up and fold it over. I don't know if it'll be easy or not, but it shouldn't be too hard. So I'm going to get these two sides up and rolled, and then get that stuff done, and I will show you what it looks like when I get there. Okay, that'll wrap it up for today. Even though it doesn't look like it, the sides are on. There's a little bit of contact adhesive on the outside, which is no big deal. Alright, I have my roll cut and ready to go tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to do basically the same thing, except it's already cut and ready to go, and I need to seam it, so I got to use seam tape, and then I got to do these corners. And there's another detail. There's a round thing that goes on vertical. When it transitions to vertical on a seam, you got to put a, I don't know what the hell it's called, a seam patch or whatever. You got to put one of them on both sides, so I got that to do as well. But I'm definitely going to get a earlier start tomorrow. I thought I had everything ready today, and I probably looked around for an hour for my rubber roller. I had stashed it in the greenhouse, and I was looking in the house, in the shed. I was looking all over the place, so I wasted a good chunk of morning looking for that, but can't really do anything without it. Okay, so tomorrow's a big day. Oh, and I have the scuppers to go in. That is a big deal, but what my plan is, there's so much waiting time. There's 25 minutes of waiting for the rubber to relax once it's rolled out. There's 25-30 minutes, depending on the temperature, waiting for each of the contact adhesives to dry. So there's a lot of waiting time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the seam done and work on the scuppers during those waiting times if I can. So make sure you subscribe so you can see all that stuff. Click on the update icon so you receive notice when I post the new video. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I generally answer them all. And if you give this video a like and or share it, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.